Welcome to Puerto Rico English News, the only English-speaking broadcast of local Puerto Rican news and entertainment. Please subscribe. Keep us alive.
Friday, April 22nd, Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court ruled 8-1 in upholding the decision in the United States versus José Luis Villero Madero, saying that the decision by Congress decades ago to exclude Puerto Rico from the Supplemental Security Income Program did not violate the U.S. Constitution. The decision means that an estimated 300,000 people in Puerto Rico cannot receive the benefit. The federal government said an expansion to Puerto Rico would have cost $2 billion a year. The case stems from José Luis Villero Madero, a disabled man who fought attempts by the U.S. Social Security Administration to revoke his supplemental security income benefits in 2013 after he moved to Puerto Rico. His lawyer said the U.S. government's move was a discriminatory treatment towards the U.S. territory. Saturday, April 23rd, CONDADO, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Groups of demonstrators marched around the island in support of Puerto Rico's statehood. March 5, 2021, the Puerto Rico Statehood Admission Act was submitted to Congress, sponsored by Representative Darren Soto, a Democrat from Florida. It has not been determined when the bill will come before the House for a vote. The bill must pass the House by majority vote before going to the Senate. There, it must also be passed by majority vote and then signed by the President. Benefits of statehood include an additional $10 billion per year in federal funds, the right to vote in presidential elections, higher Social Security and Medicare benefits, and a right for its governments, agencies, and municipalities to file for bankruptcy. Disadvantages of becoming a state are seen as having to pay federal taxes, as the territory and sales tax are already very high in Puerto Rico, losing the prospect of independence, and Puerto Rico becoming a blue or democratic state. Monday, April 25th. The authorities reported that this past weekend had the highest numbers of victims of shootings so far this year. Between Friday and Sunday, at least 25 people were shot in Puerto Rico, according to reports from the Puerto Rican police. Sunday, April 24th, Caguas, Puerto Rico. One man died and 5 others were injured in the early hours of Sunday in the middle of an argument in a business in Caguas. Saturday, April 23rd, Cple, Puerto Rico. Agents from the Homicide Division of the Criminal Investigation Corps of Caguas have not established a motive that explains the shooting that took place this past Saturday morning at a gas station that left 4 young people injured and hospitalized. Those shot were transported to the medical center in Rio Piedras and are reportedly between the ages of 18 and 21 years of age. Those wounded were traveling in a stolen vehicle and carrying firearms. The police suspect the attackers and victims were involved in drug trafficking. Monday, April 24th, Santurce, Puerto Rico. A man died Monday afternoon after receiving several bullet wounds on Comerio Street in the Tras Talleres neighborhood of Santurce in San Juan, the police reported. The 34-year-old man drove himself wounded to a hospital where he later died. Sunday, April 24th, Trujillo, Alto, Puerto Rico. 2 men were killed and another was injured on Sunday at a grocery store on PR 181, kilometer 10.7 in Trujillo, Alto. Sunday, April 24th, Ayasco, Puerto Rico. The police are investigating discovery on Sunday night of two charred bodies inside a vehicle in the La Pista sector of Highway 401 in Ayasco. One of the victims was found in the trunk. Due to the conditions in which the bodies were found, they could not be identified. Sunday, April 24th, Dorado, Puerto Rico. The authorities are investigating the discovery of the body of a 24-year-old man shot inside a vehicle on PR3 in Dorado. Jorge L. Hernandez Pena was discovered deceased inside a gray 2011 Kia Soul. The vehicle had been reported stolen. Saturday, April 23rd, Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico. Another violent death was reported at 3:45 p.m. on Saturday at the intersection of Cuarto and Capetillo streets in Rio Piedras. Elvis P. Broa Peña, 21, was murdered at the scene. Sunday, April 24th, Comerio, Puerto Rico. They find a body on a cliff of a young man whose death could be related to another murder in Comerio. Police are investigating a double murder in Comerio and another violent death which occurred last Friday. Friday, April 22nd, Salinas, Puerto Rico. An individual was arrested in the early hours of Friday morning for a shooting at a vehicle in which 6 officers from the Drug and Narcotics Division of the Police Bureau were occupying while they were traveling on Highway 1 in Salinas. The shooter was identified as Mario Torres Cintron, 46, who was arrested with a Glock pistol. Nobody was hurt in the incident. The motive for the attack has not been established. Saturday, April 23rd, Cabo Rojo, Puerto Rico. An oceanic drug bust in the waters off Cabo Rojo by members of the Maritime Unit of the United Forces of Rapid Action culminated in the seizure of 181 blocks of cocaine. The agents also managed to arrest 3 people in connection with the boat that was sailing without lights near the Mayaguez sector. Tuesday, April 27th, Condado, Puerto Rico. A tourist and resident of Massachusetts was shot last night in the middle of a carjacking on Berenquita Street near the OLV 55 Hotel in Condado, San Juan. Police reported. The 28-year-old man was driving a Jeep Wrangler when he was accosted at gunpoint and then shot. He was transported to the Rio Piedras Medical Center. The stolen vehicle was recovered hours later. Tuesday, April 26, Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. The authorities arrested the alleged leader of a criminal organization that for more than a decade has been in charge of the sale of controlled substances in the Mayaguez area. Ulises Irizzary Santiago is being held on a $600,000 bond. Tuesday, April 26, Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico. Police arrested fugitive Joendy Omar Legron Leporte in the Capetillo sector in Rio Piedras, the alleged triggerman of a drug gang who was wanted by federal authorities. He is suspected of having ties to several violent crimes, including a murder. Tuesday, April 26, Toa Baja, Puerto Rico. A couple found inside a car in a McDonald's parking lot. Both died of a drug overdose. Their identities have not been verified. It was reported that both had been in a drug rehab program. Tuesday, April 26, Bayamon, Puerto Rico. The star witness for the prosecution in the case of the murder of former boxer Hector Macho Camacho Matias did not arrive at the Bayamon court to give his testimony of the events that occurred that fateful night in November 2012. The court reports the witness, William Ojeda Ramos, failed to show because he is under investigation in the United States. The hearing has been delayed until June 1st. 10 years after the famous boxer was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in his hometown of Bayamon, the prosecution feels they have a credible witness to get a conviction. The 5 men accused are pictured here. Tuesday, April 26, Carolina, Puerto Rico. Judge Francisco Borrelli Irizzary issued an arrest warrant against lawyer Alejandro Centelio Vera for not appearing in the Carolina court for the continuation of the trial against Juan Miguel Castillo Martinez and Jacqueline Irmaris Lugo Colon, accused of the murder of an employee, Edmil Leon Garcia, at the Yes Motel. The lawyer, Mr. Alejandro Centelio Vera, did not appear before the Court of Carolina for the continuation of the proceedings. There has been no explanation for this unusual incident. Edmil Leon Garcia, an employee of the Yes Motel in Carolina, died on April 3rd of last year after being shot at her workplace. The couple began to argue with the victim after being evicted from the motel. They followed Ms. Leo Garcia, and a surveillance video shows the accused, Juan Miguel Castillo Martinez, allegedly shooting the employee. Monday, April 25th, San Juan, Puerto Rico. The government of Canada requested the extradition of Connor Vincent de Monte. The arrest of the fugitive stunned many in Puerto Rico. Connor Vincent de Monte, who went by Johnny Williams in Puerto Rico, was allegedly a leader of a violent gang sought by Canadian authorities on charges including first-degree murder. He had been on the run for more than a decade. The businessman was known to Puerto Rico for his philanthropic efforts, such as Christmas toy drive for needy children and renovations for an elementary school. Wednesday, April 27th, San Juan, Puerto Rico. A man filed a $1 million lawsuit in the federal court in San Juan against the Highway and Transportation Authority after he allegedly had an accident on PR 52 when the motorcycle he was driving hit potholes in the road. Jose Micardo Rivera seeks compensation for his injuries, citing the negligent disrepair of the roads. Monday, April 25th, Arlington, Virginia. PBS, Public Broadcasting System, announced today that WIPR Puerto Rico will become its newest member station, joining more than 330 local PBS stations across the U.S. and its territories. PBS can be viewed over various Puerto Rican channels or on the PBS app. Thank you for watching. Be sure and follow us on Facebook for up-to-date news, weather, information on earthquakes, riptides, power outages, viral videos, and more. Just search Puerto Rico English News or follow the link in the description. Thanks for subscribing. Have an amazing week.